Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thursday.
Hello, Miami Dolphin fans, on another Throwback Thursday. All things Miami Dolphins, as always, here on Dolphins Chatter. I hope you're all doing well on this wonderful Thursday. And of course, our thoughts are with those over in Kansas City at the event of the Kansas City parade shooting. Guys, the Miami Dolphins have hired Deshaun Sheed since my last show. He's a Legion of Boom former player who's going to join the Legion of Zoom that some of you Dolphins fans like saying over here. So the boom meets the Zoom. And that's all I have for that. His exact role on the Miami Dolphins coaching staff is unknown at this time. Other than he's been hired, he's worked with secondaries in the past. He played as a defensive back, so he's going to have some role there along with Duker or back in there. So we will see. We don't know his defined role as of yet, but he's another former NFL player, replaces our former NFL player, Sam Madison, who's moved on the coaching staff. And that's it. Not saying he's filling that role, but meaning another player is coming in and filling in on there. Hey, Timothy, big fins up to you. Thumbs up. Thank you for coming in. And as you can see, guys, I decided to get some steps in at the mall yesterday. And lo and behold, I see this hat sitting there, and I had to buy it. What can I say? It was at the lids. It's my favorite logo, and I was just saying on one of my recent episodes that I don't have a hat for my favorite logo. So there you go. Hey, Aquavision. Hey, G-Man. Michael K. All big fins up to you. Yes, I'm in Michael K. Sorry. I'll give you thumbs up. Fins up to the rest of you guys. Now, I just wanted to do something yesterday because I try to get all my steps in. I need to lose a little bit of weight. And, I kind of defeated the purpose because I end up eating Charlie's thing. But I walked this neighborhood so many times. I know like every nook and cranny. And I'm like, you know what? Let me go to the mall and wanted to see. And no, I wasn't last minute Valentine's shopping. I'm not the last minute guy. Yeah, me and my wife doesn't even mess with Valentine's Day. I'm lucky on that front, actually. But I was walking the mall, saw this hat, and boom, bam, I had to buy it. But no, not really a wall marker normally, Michael. But the good thing on the Charlie's, I cut the bread out. I just did the meat and stuff. So I want to lose 10 pounds as my goal. I'm going to be walking in the 5K for the Dolphins Cancer Challenge. Guys, if you got a couple extra bucks, you can hit the link in the description. All money goes to the Dolphins Cancer Challenge. So I don't want to be too big overweight walking on February 24th. It's getting here soon. Should be fun. Hey, hooked it up, Joe. Thank you, man, for hopping in here today. And we will talk anything Dolphins that you guys want to talk about today. Miss Fins, she's rolling over there. It's always a great show. She's going over the salary cap. You guys know all of that stuff. So it is what it is on that front over there. We got a lot of questions on our Miami Dolphins coming up. I know if Scotty comes in here later today, he's going to mention that he wants Patrick Queen. And there you go. There's Scotty right there. So I've been looking up some players they have Patrick Queen at number. PFF has him rated as the 45th best linebacker. I can't find. I'm too cheap. I'm not going to pay for. I pay for already too much stuff. I'm not going to pay for PFF to see what their contract projection is because they say that's in our pay service. But he is their 45th rated free agent And it says Crean's pass rushing problems is not kept very low, much like Carolina's, but they're saying he's going to get a lot of money, is what it says. So it says basically it sums up Crean should get to test the market and potentially do quite well for himself. So I don't know if he will fit into the Dolphins' budget on that front. We will see. Shake Money, Michelle Waters, big fins up to all you guys coming in here on this Throwback Thursday. Yeah, I know. It is. Like I say, there's so many things out there. Hey, but that's, you know, Chris Collinsworth, man, that's his baby. He's one of the big owners of the PFF. So he's making that cha-ching on NBC and through that. But I would just, so I don't know what his projected salary is. I'm sure it's somewhere out there free on the internet, and I just haven't gone checked it out yet. But I know he's a big name that Dolphins want. Clowney's another name that's on there that I've seen some people say they want. His name's always seems to be linked to the Dolphins, but he's actually ranked ahead. Hunt is ranked ahead. We got a couple guys ranked before. Christian Wilkins is in the top 10 of their free agents. Hunt's he's up there. And Connor Williams all came before I came across Queen's name when I was looking up. So it shows you that some Dolphins are going to be targets of other teams. Let's just hope we can keep them. Let's just hope we can keep them. Because I really, other ones, of all the pending ones, I guess Hunt to me is the most important at this point. I love me some Connor Williams. He was great, but he is injured and it stinks. But we need someone that we know can play right away. Hunt will get him extended and have him and Oxen Jackson on the right side for the next several years working together, get that cohesion, that consistency. Then we got to start worrying about from the center going left because we know Armstead's way out there on the end on the left, but he has his injury history and has a huge contract. So got to start looking for his replacement. Let's see. We did get Sailor from the Ravens. Yes. I like Clowney as well. For whatever reason, he had been linked to the Dolphins in past free agency. He's never chosen to come here for whatever reason, or we just never offered the big bag of money. But we will see this free agency since we don't know really the status of Chubb and Phillips. So, and then is AVG may leave? Who knows? So there's a lot of speculation on the edge too. So Miami has a lot of questions to answer. I still think there's some solid core of the team, but that offensive line is just a hot mess as we sit here on February 15th, 2024. A lot of moves to be made. So I'm not worried about being a hot mess right now. Now, after April, and once we start approaching the mini camps, if we're still a hot mess, didn't get back with me and I'd be worried. But right now, all you can do is they got to free up a lot of money. Miss Finns has done a phenomenal job. There's no reason for me to beat the same horse. She broke down those salary caps to the T. Steve and I did it actually a week ago on our Tuesday night show we do on the Finns Talk Sports Network. So there are ways. We all know there are avenues to get to having enough money to go make some acquisitions to make the team better, sign maybe one of our guys, and go from there. Melvin Ingram. Hey, he did, but hey, he came in and at least still made a couple plays, Bring back Melvin Ingram. My first move to make up cap would be restructure Ramsey and Chubb. I think that's on their chopping block. I do believe that's on their board. Cut Ogbah, Baker, Cross, and yes, and yes. Resign Hunt. I hope that I don't know, but I agree with you on the Ogbah and Baker moves. Resign Hunt. The 5 moves allows to get on the cap while re-signing Hunt. That's to me is my priority right there, Hunt, because that was solidified the right. They may not be the all pros you guys want, but that'd be a very solid right side of the line. And that is important. That is very consistent, and they can get better as they have consistency over the next couple of years working alongside each other. That's what I'm hoping for, of course. There are some centers in the draft. Fraser, yes, Mr. West Virginia fan in the house. And then, of course, the the Oregon guy that all Dolphin fans are the current love child fan. And right now, he's like the number one leader in the clubhouse of Miami Dolphin fans. And that's what we have. So we need a stud center who can snap the ball. Yes, G-Man, as basic as that sounds, that's what we need for sure. Connor Williams was the stud center. He did have a couple snapping issues at times, and now he's injured. That's my main concern with him, and I feel bad for him because he wanted that contract extension. That's why these players always want that contract extension. That's why he set out OTAs for some of the voluntary stuff. He was there from day one of camp, of course, but he sat out because he was hoping he can get the contract reworked. And that's why, because now he has his bad injury and he doesn't have any of that guaranteed money going into next year. So there you go. That's why these players want that money. I think Powers go before 21 now that Miami to be the perfect landing spot. Yeah, there you go. Do we draft a center or DT first? Probably I don't know. I don't know. We only got 2 picks, is what I really, because the later running, it's really, we got 2 picks that we got to hit on with so many different needs, man. That's why I understand why a lot of you want to trade back, but you don't want to trade back too far because you do want to get some of the cream of the crop. And if you fall too far, then you're settling for the next tier of players. So there's that happy medium where you get some fillers in. It is a solid draft from all accounts. Still haven't dug into it as much as I normally do by this time of year because so many different things going on. Finally, quiet today. The house is finally done being more or less. So I will have a little bit more time to look at that. But then I'm also doing a lot of baseball stuff now. So just it's fun though. The draft, we can even do a mock draft here today if Scotty's ready to make some picks or any of you other guys that have done homework. I could always run a mock draft. Let's see. Uh, um, let's see also. Also, I could throw a curveball and sign Allen from Raiders and free agency at center before the draft. I don't know. Where's he ranked? Let me see if I see his ranked in there. Hold on, guys. I'm going to share the screen. Mind you guys, I'm the host, the producer, the director. So if I don't see your comments for a minute, it's because I'm on another page looking at stuff. Hey, Dolphin Don, big fins up to you. I'm going to try to do this real quick, though. This is what I want to do. Just bear with me as I get this share screen going. Share screen. Well, you can't probably see that. I'm in here now. If I go full screen, so there I go full screen so you can see. This is PFF. I don't see what you guys agree, if you agree with these moves of PFF. See if you think deeper they belong in the top 10 full screen layout. So here we go. Let's see. So they have Chris Jones as their number one, of course, of the Kansas City Chiefs. Then they got Kirk Cousins all the way up to number 2. I think that might be a little high for Kirk Cousins, but I guess he's quarterback, so you throw in that. Then they got Josh Allen. No, not that Josh Allen, Michael K. Not that Josh Allen. They got Josh Allen of the Jacksonville Jaguars as number 3. T. Higgins at number 4. Brian Burns at number 6. Justin, the name I was going to screw up, Justin Madubuike of the Ravens, 6. And I do believe our guy comes in next. Kristen Wilkins at number 7. So we will see where that goes. And I'm just going to go to the top 10 here. And Antonio Winfield, another guy the Dolphins could have had on our roster, but that's for another story for another day. I liked this guy when he came out of the draft, but it is what it is. He is not a Miami Dolphin, and I guess we'd be dealing with his salary now anyway, unless we had given him the option. Jalen Johnson, cornerback number 9. And here's the rounding out the 10th, another Kansas City Chief, Luxurious Sneed. So those are that. And then I get you to where Connor Williams falls into this real quick. But do you guys agree with those? Michael Pittman, Darnell Hunter, Mike Evans, receiver, Tyron Smith, Cowboys, tackle, Kendall Filler. I'm trying to get to, because Connor Williams falls pretty high on this list somewhere in here. But anyway, I can't find him right now. But he's on the list, guys. This is PFF, if you guys want to know. Connor Williams comes before. Oh, there's Robert Hunt. He comes at me 7. Okay, and he's ahead of Connor Williams, I know. So got a few guys. Derrick Henry, another Dolphin fan favorite. He comes in 31 on their list of available free agents. And I must have skipped Connor Williams. I thought, no, there, Connor Williams, 37. So good morning, guys. So those are, do you guys agree with those top guys? Do you think they overrated? Yeah, I would have wanted Josh Allen over him too, sir. I would have liked that too. To me, I was surprised to see Kirk Cousins way up there. Again, it's the quarterback position. I understand, and I get it. I totally get why Kirk Cousins, but I just thought that was kind of high. So you see where a couple Dolphins fall in their top rankings. We got Kristen Wilkins, Connor Williams, and Robert Hunt all in their top rankings up there. So some of them are going to get their attention from other teams for sure. Some of the people we like are pretty high on that list too. And I don't know. To me, I understand why the Dolphins fans want Derrick Henry. They're saying he would be the game changer. But I don't know. To me, there's other needs that supersede that. If it comes down to spending big money, this might be money spent elsewhere. I understand that. Believe me, I know Derrick Henry in this offense would be huge, and maybe make McDaniel run the ball a little bit more from the guys that think he abandons the run too quickly. But to me, when you got needs up front in the trenches, those have to supersede the running back need, because you can get yourself a running back if you do it right. Look, the Dolphins got Achane. I know he's on the smaller size, but they picked him up last year in the 3rd round. He was a big factor. If you draft well, you can find yourself a running back. Yes, we don't have a pick in the 3rd, 4th rounds, which is too huge of a hole in my liking, but it is what it is at this point. Can't whine about it because it's coming up, and that's what we do. Henry would help Brooks' development. Yeah, I know there's all that kinds of factors that comes into it, but you just got to balance. That's why, hey, these guys getting paid the big bucks, they're the ones that have to decide what the balance is. Do they go for the sexy name that they know is going to make Dolphin fans happy and bring in Derrick Henry? Or do they say, let's get these trenches sort of? I really want to see Hunt back, because him and Elise AJ next to each other, that's, like I said, it really solidifies one side of the line for the next few years. So you lock those two guys up, then start working on the other spots along the line, because you got Armstead, as long as he can come out there healthy, we will see. Hey, Brady, the KC DJ was, yes, I know, it's very sad. Aqua, I saw she was, and I think she's also a mother of 2. Very tragic, of course, man. Very course. I love Cal. That's a name that so many people wanted the Dolphins to draft, Cal Pitts, and he has not really lived up to his billing yet. I'm not going to say I sit there and watch Atlanta Falcon games I don't even know when the last time I watched. Probably the last time the Dolphins played. It's the last time I watched the Atlanta Falcons game. But he's not putting up the big numbers that everyone thought. A lot of people wanted us just to stay like at 3 and take him. A lot of people, wanted Chase. So, a whole bunch of talk. So, but yes, he's one of the names that people want. Maybe in the right system, he would be good. He's a former Gator. So, yes, I could see signing guys def before free agency starts, like Lamb and Needham. I hope so. I hope some of those guys come back because those are good, solid players that you need. Lamb did very well for a backup when needed compared to the previous years the previous year in 2022 when Armstead went down. It was like a circus act at the left tackle position. It was a revolving door, not just for our lack of protection, a revolving door of players trying to find someone that can just be adequate. At least Lamb was a very successful reserve, good player, and stepped in, played very solidly. I don't know if that caught the eyes of other teams. He may get a bigger contract this time around because he's proven he can play him in on the left, and it is what it is. Hopefully, I forgot about him to mention him. I mean, I didn't forget about him, but this morning in my little rant when I was saying keep Hunt, that's the number one. I would have Lamb up there pretty high, surprisingly. At this point, I'm just thinking Wilkins gone is a foregone conclusion, and that's more from a money standpoint. Could they really rework contracts and still give him his big payday? Of course they could. But again, you got to do that balancing act. You got to have a whole roster, not just all top heavy with big, huge contracts and then filler spaces. You need a well balanced machine, as you saw with all these teams moving in, because all teams get banged up. All teams get banged up during the season, but they come away still winning. I mean, we kept Tua healthy the whole year this year, and it still didn't give us that playoff win because we had other injuries throughout. The edge, the edge, I've never seen one unit get so. We had one of probably the strongest edge units, you could say, up there. And then at the end of the year, we had one of the weakest. It just shows how fast players, by the time Chubb and Phillips and Van Ginkle, boom, 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 gone, we were signing guys off the street that had been sitting on the couch like all of us and come play football in the playoffs. It just shows how depth is so important because we even had depth at the. We even had Ogba, who was, so he was out there too. But it's just, and now Ogba's going to be gone. So we really need help along the edge. So many things that we have to do. I could see Lamb getting 2 or 3 deals loaded for the back, loaded for the cap. Well, I hope so, man. Let's see what Timothy said. Oh, good morning, Ender. Boom. I did not see you sneak into the room. Big fins up to you, Ender. And guys, remember to nail those thumbs up. They didn't utilize, Timothy says they don't utilize him. Wait until he's a free agent next year and he would be a perfect fit. And guys, this is speaking of Kyle Pitts, his speed and blocking skills, watch out. Agreed, Timothy. I loved him coming out of the University of Florida in the draft. I thought he'd be a good fit for the Dolphins, because he was a big target. But we end up getting Waddle that draft for his pick after trading back down with the 49ers. Yada yada. I do give some kudos to the 49ers, though. I do. Yes, they lost the Super Bowl. Yes, there's a lot of questioning you could do of their coaching staff. But to spend all of that, give up 3 first-round picks, go all the way up there, boom, bust, bah, that pick, just busted out bad. He's not even on your team anymore, but they still make it to the Super Bowl. So I give them some kudos for coming around somehow. They traded, that would kill most teams. You trade up, give up 3 first-round picks to move up to select the guy that's not even on your team just a couple years later. Then your Mr. last pick of the draft, no longer proper to call him Mr. Irrelevant. The man's been to a Super Bowl and all things considered, played decent in that Super Bowl, had his team on the cusp of winning it, and it just didn't work out for them. But I give kudos to the 49ers organization because I know if the Dolphins would have traded up 3 first-round picks and the guys to bust, we would have been busted as a team for the next couple of years. So the 49ers did have a good core in place previous to that because they had some other high picks up there playing, but still for them to do that's just a tip of the cap to the organizations that overcome bust to go up there winning. So it is awesome. So I don't know. I just wish our Dolphins could do that one of these days. One of these days. So that's what I want. I know to me, it's embarrassing that some 49ers players, but even the Kansas City guy that caught the touchdown didn't know the overtime rule. I don't know how you don't know because Andy Reid had said he went over it and they knew all the analytics. But to me, that's embarrassing. You got to hammer that into your players' heads like, hey, this is the rules. Because one of the 49ers guys thought he took the ball and that they had gone and scored a touchdown that they had won. That would have been an embarrassing. Can you imagine if he would have scored a touchdown and the whole team came, oh my God, we won the Super Bowl? And they'd be like, not so fast, Holmes, go back to the sideline. So, but that moment never happened because they kicked the field goal. Is there a limit on how many undrafted players? Nope. Yep. There you go. Nope. And just limit. Yep. Just yes. How many roster spots you can carry going into camp. And of course, getting them all within your budget. But last year, they signed a few because they're going to have to sign a lot again this year because we have not a lot of draft picks, guys. It's just another disappointing. We were spoiled for a couple of years where we had so much draft capital. Now it's gone to where we hardly have any. But this year we have a first, a second, a fifth, but they're sixth and a sixth and a seventh. But there's that big gap. When you go from pick 55 in the second round all the way to pick 156. So you're basically saying 100 players are coming off the board between the Dolphins getting their guys. Now, could they trade maybe the sixth and the seventh to move up and get something in another fifth or something? But that's still too much, man. It's really bad. It's way too bad in this draft not to have a third, thanks to the tampering charge, and not having a fourth due to the Chubb trade. And when you think about it, those are both empty picks because the third is just taken away due to penalty. And the fourth is for a player that won't play till late in the year. Nothing against Chubb. He was starting to play, helping the club, but he got injured. So now he won't be on the roster, on the active. I mean, he won't be playing on the field, I should say. He's going to be on the roster, of course, but he'd be on injured reserve for late until next season, probably. So it's really tough when you just think that two of your resources, third and fourth round picks, are for basically not any production on the field coming up this season. It's tough. Yeah, a lot of undrafted. I agree, man. I mean, there's really no other way around it. If we had all of our picks, it would be a little bit less, but once again, we do not. And it just stinks because this team could use Trip, not just for filling talent, but putting affordable talent is the key word there. Affordable talent on the field. Of course, last year our second round pick barely touched the field. He got on there a couple times, but for whatever reason, whether it was Fangio that didn't really like him or it was his lack of work ethic, like rumors, we don't know what's true. We don't know what's true. But we do know now with the new defensive coordinator coming in, he should be given a clean slate like all the players. We know when new coaches coming in, they're given a clean slate. This is his chance to go out there and play at the NFL level that supposedly he would. When you draft a guy in the second round and he's your first pick of the draft, you would expect him to be on the field. We can't do that crap this year. Our first and second it's a must for our first and second round picks to contribute to this team this year in a meaningful way. And almost at any position they take, whatever position they take, they better be day one contributors, a la Richmond Webb back in the day and Keith Sims, first and second round picks back in the day. Granted, Richmond Webb was taken all the way in like the top 10, but it's still available at 21. You can get a guy that can come in and contribute to this 2024 Miami Dolphins team. There's no excuses, Chris Greer. You've got to get it right this time. And if you use it via trade, like you hinted one time before, better be a player that you don't have to play the bag of money right up front, because I've had enough of that. Let's get our own, develop our own guys, man, and just win that way. That's what I want to see. Let's see. What did Joe say? Oh. So Cedric is a free agent, though not on the free agent list on the cap calculator. Yeah, because they reworked it to a 1 year deal, right? Right, Joe. Last year, right before the start of the season, they reworked it to where it was a 1 year deal and he could get out because he wasn't getting much playing time. They came to some kind of resolution, so he stayed here last year, worked out the 1 year deal, and now he's going to be boom. Let's see. Thanks, Joe. That is what I thought, but I kept hearing people say content. But all I remember on Cedric Wilson is that's who you guys are talking about. Is oh yes, yes, I agree. What you said, Joe, about that's what they did before during the camp last year. They reworked his contract, and boom, we would be the best fit for third receiver option, Judy or Landry. Who knows, man? I don't know, Timothy, on that. I know a lot of people love them. I think it's you, one of them for sure. You're the big Jarvis Landry coming back, but I don't know on that front. They may just try to go with Easy again, try to bring him back off from the injured, or they may. I really don't know. River, I don't know. Because River Craycraft, I like River Craycraft, but I don't know. Who knows, man? That's why some people are having the Dolphins take. I've seen a lot of these national pundits, I would call them, because I'm just a local Joe that from the small, I'm just a local Joe small. But these national pundits with like bigger names and getting paid to do these silly drafts, which I call them because I love them. They're a mock draft for a reason because it just makes a mockery of it. But I love it. They're fun. And I would do one today if you guys want to roll a mock draft out there. But a lot of them, man, they had to take a receiver from LSU and then other ones. I've seen so many different mock drafts having most of them, I would say 90% of them having us taking offensive linemen, but 10% receiver is like tend to be the other. So it's weird. And it's probably like 95% offensive lineman and 5% receiver, but to see a few receivers crack into the mock drafts, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I could be saying what the on draft night like all of us, but I just don't see it. Yes, we need a return game. That's where a 3 comes in for me. It has to be a stellar punt returner. He's my yes, a good punt returner. To me, Braxton Berrios was a solid punt returner, a reliable punt. He wasn't going to muff it. He was going to get it, but he wasn't going to break it to the house and get you big, good field position. But I would call Braxton Berrios. He was reliable. You never felt like because sometimes like when James Grant used to go, he could take it to the house, but you were also praying he didn't muff it. With Braxton Berrios, you knew he probably wasn't going to take it to the house, but you knew almost all the time he was going to catch it. So that's where I put Braxton Berrios and his contributions to the team. He was just a very reliable punt returner. Not sexy, not great, but very solid. Didn't muff a punt. Time of guy. Yeah, I know that. You're right. He had very few times that he. You're right, man. Our punt coverage teams are bad. Our punt return blocking schemes are bad. but Crossman is still here. So hopefully he can get it. And yes, I knew you meant Judy, that spelling of Judy, guys. Hey, Newfoundland, man, I didn't even see you sneak in there. Yes, that's what I was saying. Newfoundland. Some of those mock drafts has got us taken at 21. I agree. There's no need for that right now. That's a luxury, not a need. Let's see. Newfoundland. Nothing would shock me, but all have receivers as the last possible. Yeah, to me, like I mean, I understand people reasoning for the receiver because the Dolphins are known for the speed and being a prolific offense is what people think we're built around. They also know Tyreek Hill said he's just going to play 10 years. And then before you know it, Waddle will be playing on a 5th-year option going after. So, you just don't know after next. I mean, we got him under contract this year. Then we're going to have to make, I mean, for sure, they'll probably put Waddle on the 5th-year option if they don't rework him before then. It'd be nice to see them rework. I wish the Dolphins did a little more proactive work and signed these younger players to an extension early in their careers when they're more the minute they're allowed to start reworking their rookie contracts and signing them up for the long haul because they take a little risk away. They know they have their guaranteed money before they have a chance to get hurt, and the team saves a little bit before they get on the open market. So to me, I wish the Dolphins would do a little more extending their guys before they hit the open market. They did it with Austin Jackson. You could say, he's just, but at least they got him and they benefited him from having some inconsistent performances and everything because he started off as a rookie. He wasn't that bad. He was actually pretty solid. Then started battling some. His rookie season started tailing off at the end of his rookie season, and then the last couple years he's dealt with different various degrees of injuries, and he just wasn't able to play up to the first round standard. And this past year, at least, he's a solid guy. I'm not going to say Austin Jackson's going to be an all pro. He's not, Hall of Fame type, right tackle, but he's a solid guy. You can't have all pros at all. You wish you could. You're not going to keep them for a long time if they're all playing at all pro level, but he's a solid contributor. Go with Hunt, solid contributor to a little more than solid. And, then you're got the workings of a line. Thank you, whoever hit the thumbs up over on Facebook. Love it. Thank you so much. Adam, welcome to the room. Mike Sterner, welcome to the room. No, I'm not the biggest fan of Greer. That's the one guy I'm vocal on because over a lot of times I wear the shades of the Miami Dolphins. But to me, Greer is just, he hasn't done his job yet. I will give him this year because the Dolphins, as long as Mr. Ross gives him that, that's all you can do. So, but do I have faith in him nailing the picks? No, I do not. I hope he proves me wrong and I'm eating these words and I will edit myself and put the video out there that I was wrong. But no, Mark, I do not have faith in Greer drafting well with 2 contributors in the first and second round. I'm not with the past couple of drafts. Granted, we didn't have a first round pick last year, and the year before that, we didn't have a first or a second. This will be the first round pick since Mike McDaniel's been head coach that the Dolphins actually have a first round pick. So maybe he will have a little influence on him. Who knows? But they need draft. They need better talent evaluation. But that's for a whole other episode. We could do a whole episode on the Dolphins front office woes over the past few years. But Mark, the basic answer, no, I don't have complete faith in him. Who was the biggest prize gooder? Yes, that was a good one. That's what I was saying. AJ was a good surprise. The way Achan came in and played as a rookie, he was a good surprise. And I liked him. I knew he was a little on the small side, but I liked him coming out of last year's draft. So I thought it was a good pickup when they got him, but it was still a surprise that he played at the level and had some of the impact plays he had for our Miami Dolphins. So he was a pleasant surprise. Van Ginkel just coming back last year was a surprise. I didn't even think, I thought he'd be gone in free agency. He came back. This year, I think he may be gone just because he may get a bag of money somewhere, guys. We will see. Some team may just say, hey, he performed when he's out there. And every time he's given a chance, he ends up making plays. So we do have that. Who knows? But yeah, there were some surprises. There were some definitely surprises. Yes. Oh, that's a great one. Mozart. Yeah. Who would have thought record breaking for Miami Dolphins single season touchdown record that he would go out there and get all those touchdowns? No one thought that. He's the all overall single season touchdown leader for the Miami Dolphins. He's the overall rushing single season touchdown. So I mean, he had a phenomenal year. So there was a lot of names out there that went out, and I mean, Connor Williams was having a great year, and at center until he got injured. It stinks. So there was some good, pleasant stuff going on. If we give the huge contract to Tua, what does Greer care if he falls? He'd be long gone, and once again, the Dolphins are set back. Yes, that's the one thing, Mike. About that, I don't know why it's called. If I called you Mark earlier, I don't know what I'm reading. My eyes are getting old. Remember, I'm over 50, no glasses. Mike Sterner. Um, you're right. There is no if Greer is gone, and that's it. That's what a lot of times these failing coaches and general managers do. They give all out because they don't care about the future. That's why sometimes they trade future first round picks, because they're like, well, if we don't win now, I'm going to be gone, and I let the other general manager have no future first round picks. So there's all kinds of things that they do when they're all in. And the Dolphins definitely have to be all in, because this is what they told us. They told us these were the years we were supposed to be competing and winning playoff games. Yes, we've had some winning seasons in a row, which is nice, and 2 playoff seasons in a row for the first time in a long time. But we still haven't gotten over that hump since December 30th, 2000, since our last playoff win for the Miami Dolphins. Yes, December 30th, 2000. And you know what's funny? That was Chris Greer's first year in the Dolphins organization. Yes, he wasn't a general manager. He was hired as a regional scout. He's worked his all the way up. That's the old-fashioned way. I like the story. I just don't like the picks. I like the story of a guy working his way up from regional scout all the way up to the top job in the organization. Kudos to him for sticking around that long, but he just hasn't gotten it done. It's the whole scouting department, though. Just remember, Chris Greer is not out there every single day scouting like these other guys are, that goes to all the college games throughout the year, watches all the film, because Chris Greer has a million other things. He's dealing with contracts, dealing with the current players, dealing with the current coaches. He's not always the one out there. So he relies a lot upon his drafting staff, his scouts. End of the day, the buck stops with him, though. So I'm 100% with you, but I just want people to realize, I know he's not always out there doing the day-to-day scouting. He watches film, of course, on these guys, and watches too. Gets input from his coaches, who breaks down the players much better, because they watch game film all the time. Again, the general manager is very busy. He does all kinds of stuff. He's an owner's voice, and he has the ear of the owner and all of that. So it's like the whole scouting department maybe needs to be reshaped. Yes, he is. There you go. Tim, I blame Armstead for that. Yeah, I know. Armstead, yeah, on that one play, is it was pretty bad. That one particular play where he basically tackled himself almost. Greer is now hanging on the pole, grease with Vaseline, sliding away. Let's see. Scouting almost dying profession, I imagine, with athlete able. Yeah, I know. There's so many systems, but you still need human eyes that go out there and watch the games. The Dolphins still are known to send scouts out, watch these guys, go to their pro days, go to the combine. To me, the combine is cool. You get the general, but what I take there is what their height. I take their height and their weight because that's when you really know what their true height and weight. But I don't need a combine warrior. I need a guy that's good on the football field. Now, if you can find a combine warrior that had production on the football field, then that's a guy you want. But like Zach Thomas was never going to be a combine warrior, and here he is with a gold jacket in the Hall of Fame. So it's just like I like these things, but to me, production on the field in college is very vital to going forward. Yes, I understand 40-yard dash and the cone drills and all of these. People love to know the times, and I understand it. But you get a Zach Thomas back there. I don't care what his 40 time tells you on paper. He's going to get to the guy. He knows how to take the best route. He knows what they're going to do before they know what they're going to do, is what Peyton Manning used to say about him. He goes, I used to hate playing the Dolphins because Zach Thomas would be like telling me what we're about to do right in my face. And it used to drive him crazy. So it's just, but there's so many methods, yes, that they go to, and they go to all the pro days, and then they have some invites to who the Dolphins. That's always a good indication to who the Dolphins invite into their facility. Doesn't mean they always draft, because they throw a lot of smoke out there, bring in a whole bunch of guys they probably have no intention of drafting, but want to throw people off the scent when they have their number of invites coming into the training facility during the draft process. Always fun to hear the rumors come out, who the Dolphins are talking to in the combine and stuff, but a lot of that is just crazy. Hey, thank you, Steve. Big fins up to you, Steve Malloy. Hey, Henry, thank you, man, for coming in from the Facebook side. I love it. Henry says, bottom line, you need playmakers, and people are willing to sacrifice their time and put in the effort in the study room. Very well said, Henry. Can't say it better myself. That's what it boils down to. You got to have guys with that passion that want to play. Because I understand the player has to take care of himself first. But by playing out there with that passion and taking all that, he's going to help himself and get that big contract. So we will see. And I agree. That's very well. Thank you coming from the Facebook. Hey, long time no see. Jamaican from Zion. Big fins up to you as well. And I know your future's so bright that you're wearing those shades. So thank you, sir, for coming in here today to talk Miami Dolphins football on this Throwback Thursday. Thank you so much, man. Good crowd here today, so I appreciate it, guys. I know there's a lot of people out there you can be listening to and just listening to me ramble on about our beloved Dolphins. But that's almost at the end of the show here today, and I think we've covered a lot. It was good. A lot of good free agents out there. Who's the outside free agent that you guys most want before we wrap up? Is there any name? I know Patrick Queen's going to be popular, maybe Clowney, but outside the Dolphins organizations, who would you like to see in budget? Not minding budget, just someone that you could think come in to the Dolphins, clear up enough money, because they're going to clear up space. They always do. They will rework these contracts and be under the cap. Is there any guys out there that you want to see come in from the free agent side that you would say, oh my God, this guy's going to help the Dolphins this year win football games from the get-go? That's what we need, because this team is built now. Our salary cap's to the roof, and it's going to just get bigger moving forward, and it's crazy. So this is it. This is the team they built to win now, and we didn't win now this year. So Khalil Mack, we get one person saying. So taking the defensive side of the ball, Dolphin Don, good name out there. There are certain measurables I think very important. One is your tackles arm. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's where I take those measurements, Scotty, where you actually get them, because their colleges rely about all these players' weight and height. But once you get to the NFL combine, all that truth comes out, how tall you really are and what your wingspan is and all of that, because the colleges are known to prop up their players to make them look bigger and stronger than they actually even are. They're already big and strong, but they always even prop them up a little bit more. When you get to the combine, the truth comes out, and the truth's in the numbers. So Henry says, great show. Keep it up. Good work, buddy. I love listening. Thank you, Henry. We can't do it without you guys, man. You guys make it great, especially seeing the Facebook side come in. Love it, man. There's a few good linebackers out there to be. Yes, and we need linebackers. We know that for sure. We for sure need some linebacker help. Shake Money is still in the house. So that's good to see. Guys, check him out on the Fins tailgate. Can't even tell you their schedule, but they're almost always on at some point during the day, every evening for sure. And they're good to check out. Scotty says Queen or Stone should top my list. Okay, there we go. We will see on those fronts. It's going to be interesting for sure, especially because March 13th, but so it's less than a month away now because March 13th, I believe, is a new league year. Today, we're February 15th. So we better start getting down under this cap quick. Start making those moves because you want to be able to pounce if there is someone out there that you want to grab off the list. I don't know. Would you? I would love to. Yes, is the answer because he's a leader. He's a solid player. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen due to the money. But just as far as like money wasn't an issue, and we were talking about Major League Baseball, and my dog's bugging me down here. I don't know why, but Major League Baseball, and it was just like a luxury tax, and it was like we had an owner like Ross who wouldn't care about the luxury tax. I would say, yeah, sign Wilkins, sign this guy, sign that guy, but in reality, probably not, just because of the money, Mike. So, but yes, personally, I would love to have Wilkins sign. You know, an NFL cap not existing, and that we could still sign everyone else that we want to sign. I would say wholeheartedly yes, because he's solid player, obviously out there. Very good player, man. To a star level at this point, he's reaching up to. His sack total improved. His overall tackle production fell, but his sack total increased this year. Him and Steeler next to each other is a good combination. So yes, wholeheartedly yes. But do I think it's going to happen? No, just because of the money that he's going to get. They're saying he's going to get huge money on the open market, and he's earned it. That's what the NFL is. You go out and you play well, you earn that money, and he went out there and he earned that money. So, kudos to him, but I will miss him because he's funny. He's great. He's one of the big entertainer guys out there. Even when the offense scores, he runs out on the field and celebrates with them. It's a great teammate, he seems like. So, yes, he will be missed, but I do believe he moves on. There's a good safety. This year, some good safety will be free agents. Yes, there are. That's for sure. We will see how we go on that front for sure. Sorry, guys. My dog is keep on trying to hop up on my lap for whatever reason this morning. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up the show on that note. So I think my dog's telling me he wants me to end the show. He's right down here. What are you doing, Chase? This is my big ferocious dog right there. Say hi, Chase. There, I'll put him over here. Maybe that will make him happy. I just threw him on my son's bed. There you go. This is like I've told you guys before. My son goes to University of Florida, so my studio is really my son's room. So I'm always happy to have you guys here, though. So keep an eye on tight safety out of West Virginia. I can't imagine you following a West Virginia guy, Scotty. That's a shocking big news to me. I got to write that down that Scotty's watching someone from West Virginia. I can't handle it. Hey, Chase, Dolphin Don says hello to you, Chase. So, guys, once again, big fins up. Don't forget to nail those thumbs up. Helps the channel grow. It's free for you guys to do, and it gets my channel recognized. And if you have a few extra bucks, the donate to the Dolphins Cancer Walk is in my description. And all the money goes to challenge cancer. I'll be walking in the 5K race. I'll be walking. It's a 5K race, but I'll be walking because I'm not running anywhere. So, but I'll be walking on February 24th. If any of you guys are out there, it'd be great to meet you. It's coming up soon. All the money goes there. The link's in my description. So thank you guys. And with no further ado, I am going to close this show out. And I will see you. Oh, tomorrow I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be on a baseball show. So if any of you guys happen to like baseball, 10 a.m., same time this show started, but it's going to be on the Fins Talk Sports Network, talking all things baseball. Tomorrow we're going to be concentrating on the National League. Last week we did the American League. So thank you guys. Big fins up. See you soon.
Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you want to know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun.